An Army sergeant is now in custody after a shooting at Fort Stewart military base in Georgia that injured 5 service members. Jonathan Siri is live outside of the base where this happened. Jonathan?
Yeah, good morning to you, Ainsley. Dan Driscoll, the Army Secretary, has scheduled a news conference on Post this morning to talk about the shooting, but also to recognize the actions of the soldiers who immediately responded to this incident, describing what they did as acts of heroism. This all went down just before 11 a.m. yesterday in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. That triggered an alert that put all of Fort Stewart on lockdown.
Mag Station 1, mutual aid request for a gunshot wound on Fort Stewart. There's possibly 5 patients.
Army officials say soldiers who witnessed the shooting tackled the gunman and held him until arresting officers arrived.
I'd like to recognize and thank our Army law enforcement and medical personnel and our partners from local, state, and federal law enforcement and emergency services for their quick response. I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
The Army has identified the alleged shooter as one of their own. 28-year-old Sergeant Quornelius Radford from Jacksonville, Florida, joined the Army in 2018 and had been assigned to Fort Stewart since 2022. He has had no deployments. Local civilian authorities arrested him for DUI back in May, but it had not been reported to his chain of command. Army officials confirmed 5 victims in all. 3 required surgery and 2 were transferred to a local hospital with a level 1 trauma center for additional care, but the Army says all 5 patients are stable and expected to recover. Radford is currently being held in pre-trial confinement as the investigation continues. Army officials say they're still investigating a motive, but at this point have no indication that this was related to terrorism.